Okay, in this lesson we are going to unlock some more options while learning how to draw symmetrical objects in Illustrator. Imagine if you have done a pencil sketch on a paper, something like this. You can scan it or you can take a photo using your mobile, and then you can transfer to your computer and open it from Adobe Illustrator. For example, let's say if you have any sketch in your PC like this, what you have to do is open the folder where you save the image file, then drag it to the Illustrator document and drop it. Now I am going to trace this object in Illustrator. Before that, I want to align this image exactly center of the document. To do that, select the image, then open Align panel, this one. Then under Align option, make sure Align to Artboard option is active. Then click these horizontal align center and vertical align center icons under Align Object option. Now the image is aligned exactly center of the page. Before I start to trace this object, I am gonna lock this image in the document. So let's tap Ctrl 2 to lock it. Now I cannot even select or move the image. When you're tracing any symmetrical designs, always keep in mind you must only draw half portion of the element and then make a duplicate of that segment and flip it horizontal and unite them. So what you have to do is, before you start drawing, go to View menu and make sure Smart Guide option is on and go more down from this arrow, and then make sure this Snap to Point option is on. When these options are enabled, you can see there is a tick mark beside that option. And also make sure to turn on the rulers from Rulers menu by choosing Show Ruler option, or you can tap Ctrl R. If you want to hide the rulers, you can tap again Ctrl R. If you tap it again, you can unhide the rulers. Now I am ready to draw my object. While drawing, I will explain why we must keep turn on these smart guides and snap to point options. Also, one more important thing, always make sure to save the document if you do not have an UPC connection to your PC, because if you face any power failure, you will lose your entire design. So make sure to tap Ctrl S each and every 5 minutes if you do not have an UPS connection. Okay, now let's ready to draw. First of all, what I'm doing is pull a vertical guide from vertical ruler and set it exactly center part of this object line. Okay, so these guides are non-printable lines. You can pull more than one guides from this vertical ruler, okay, as well as you can pull horizontal guides from horizontal ruler. Also, you can reposition the current guides in your page according to your design requirement. If you tap Ctrl or Command semicolon, you can hide current guides in your document. If you tap again Ctrl or Command semicolon, you can unhide the guides. If you tap Ctrl Alt semicolon, you can lock all guides in your current document. Now if I try to select or move the guides, it's not allowing me to do that. You can tap again Ctrl Alt semicolon to unlock all guides in your current page. Let's say if shortcut keys are not working, go to View menu, then open the Guides menu, and then from this menu you can hide the guides, lock the guides, and if you select Clear Guides, you can remove all guides in your current document. So let me tap Ctrl Z to undo the action. Let's say if you want to delete some selected guides, what you have to do is select the guide with the selection tool and then tap delete key. So let me delete these guides except the middle one. And I'm going to lock this guide before I start drawing. So select it, and if I tap Ctrl 2, now that guide is locked. Okay, so let's begin to draw. As I said earlier, you must draw half portion of the element when drawing symmetrical objects, and then you must make a duplicate of it and unite it in the opposite side. To draw this object, you can use either pen tool or curvature tool. I prefer to use curvature tool as it is very easier for me. And I believe now you know how to draw with curvature tool according to my previous lessons. If you forgot, let's recap that lessons. So let me pick curvature tool and disable the fill color and activate the stroke color to red. Then for stroke weight, let's keep it for 1 point and make sure other settings are as it is, as you can see in my screen. Now I am going to start to draw from this point. So let's zoom the document bit and begin to draw. So keep in mind, while you're drawing, you can pan the document, you can zoom the document. If you want to delete last segment, if it's went wrong, you can tap Ctrl Z. If you want to draw straight lines, make sure to double click as I taught you in my previous lesson. Okay, so that segment is done. Now I'm going to draw these lines with the same tool. Before that, let me lock the current segment. So select it and tap Ctrl 2. Okay, so let's pick the curvature tool and let me zoom in the document bit, and let's draw this line first. Right. Okay, now I want to discontinue the segment, so what I'm doing is just tap escape key in the keyboard, then I can discontinue that line. Then again, let's try to draw these 3 lines following the same steps. So click it, tap escape key to discontinue. Again this line, escape key, again this line, escape, and this line. escape. So finally let me draw this segment also. Escape. Okay, now half portion of the element is done. Then what we have to do is make a duplicate of this element and flip it horizontal and combine it. Before that, you must unlock the locked elements in the current document. So let's tap Alt Control 2. When you unlock the elements, keep in mind all locked elements will be unlocked in your current document. Now I don't want this image furthermore, so let's delete that. Before I make a duplicate, I'm gonna group these segments. To do that, select all of them with the selection tool except the guideline. Then you can right click and choose group, or you can go to object menu and select group, or you can tap Ctrl G to group the selected graphic element. So always better to learn the shortcut keys, then you can ease your task. Okay. Now tap Ctrl C to make a copy, and then tap Ctrl F to paste in front of the current object. When you use this option, you can make a duplicate above the current object. Now if I drag it, you can see we have two of them. Okay, so let me tap Ctrl Z to undo the action, and then I want to flip the duplicated element horizontally. To do that, toggle to the transform panel, then activate one of the right side reference point, then go to more option menu and choose flip horizontal option. Okay, now we have done more than 90% of our drawing part. Now we have to do some tweaks to make it more perfect. So I don't want a guideline furthermore, let's delete it. Now you can see there is a line in the middle part of the object. Let me select the entire object and tap Ctrl Shift G to ungroup them first. Now all elements are ungrouped. Then what you have to do is select these two elements with the Shift key and then toggle to the Pathfinder panel, and if you choose Unite option, you can merge them together. As well as I want to merge these lines, either you can call strokes, to make them single lines instead of keep them as a two segments. But if I select both lines and if I try to unite them using the Pathfinder option, it came out something like this instead of the way I want. Because Pathfinder options are only working for closed figures. So keep in mind you cannot use any of these options in the Pathfinder panel to customize strokes or lines. You have to make sure that you have closed figures in your document in order to use these options. Okay, so how can we combine two paths together? To do that, let me undo the current action and activate the direct selection tool, and then select these both lines with the Shift key. Now let me zoom the document bit, and if I drag from this anchor, I can see those anchors are separated. In order to unite them, we must select those anchors together, and then in the option bar, if I click Connect Selected Endpoint option, then I can connect them. Now if I select and drag the anchor from that point, you can see those are combined. Now we have a single line. Let's say if you want to break any lines and separate them, Then select the anchor where you want to break the line, and then if you click this option, this scissor icon, right, you can break the lines. Anyway, I don't want to break the line, so let me undo the actions. And what you have to do is, let's follow the same steps to combine other lines. There we go. Now we have single solid lines edge to edge in this object. So that's all about in this lesson, and in the next lesson you are gonna learn basic color options. Thank you.